Hey, what's happening everyone? This is Swish Culture. Steph Curry has played with over 107 teammates at Golden State, and we're still counting. It is no secret that every player that has come to play for the Warriors during Steph's tenure has great admiration and respect for the two-time MVP and three-time NBA champion. Whether they played on the bench or a secondary role, his skill set, including his handling, shooting, and his abilities as a leader always tend to stand out as players get a feel for what it's like to play alongside Stephen Curry. It's practically a given then that whenever he gets new teammates, their impressions of the Warriors franchise cornerstone will inevitably be in the spotlight. Some of the top players he's played with not currently on the team include absolute superstars. We're talking players such as the likes of Quinn Cook, Alfonso McKinney, Patrick Wait a goddamn minute here.
Hold on a minute, player. Now,
I thought this guy won championships. Where are the big name free agents that came and signed with Golden State that carried Steph Curry to his 3 championships? All this and more once we get into it. But before that, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications for the latest videos. Regarding Steph's teammates, yes, there is one Kevin Durant that played with the Golden State Warriors and came away with 2 chips, but carried he did not. I love KD, but if anything, both he and Steph Curry played an equivalent role on the Warriors. The idea that he was the biggest factor essentially ignores the fact that Steph Curry won a championship without Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant has yet to win a title without Steph. The fact of the matter is, however, the team played worse without Steph than they did without KD. Still, Durant has Stephen Curry listed as one of his 5 best teammates. However, I'm sure if the list was asked for the best player he played alongside, there would only be one correct answer. Kevin Durant is without a doubt the most talented player Steph has played alongside, and while there's been some speculation on some of KD's, let's call them, activities on social media, and whether it means he's throwing shade at Steph to preserve his legacy, I believe KD knows Steph is the best player that he's played alongside. That said, it's hard to impress a 7-foot shooting guard who's a surefire Hall of Famer and one of the best in the game. Steph Curry has done that. So what do his new teammates have to say about him? Otto Porter Jr. had this to say. It's amazing to see his work ethic. A lot of people don't get the chance to see that. He's in the gym after hours before just putting up shots. Now, I mentioned earlier that Steph's leadership skills are very underrated. While this is just one aspect, it's also one of the most important aspects of being a leader. Steph Curry is one of the greats, so for these guys to even make it here on the NBA level, they have to be able to recognize that this is what it takes to be great. I'm a person that spends a lot of time reading and doing research, and I found that whenever you enter your workplace, your job, your career, in whatever field it might be, the first thing you do is find who is the best at what you do and learn everything you can from them in any way possible. Steph is making it very easy for the young guys. Porter goes on to say, we've got young guys that are watching that and they're in the gym too. So he's being a leader on and off the court, just making sure that when we do get the ball, we've just got to knock down our shots with confidence. Let me translate this for you. These guys ought to know they are playing with one of the best to ever play this game. You've got a role to play, leave the rest up to him. Play with the confidence of playing with one of the best to ever do it and knock down your shots. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Otto Porter Jr. seems to be well aware of this, and as a veteran in the league, takes this very seriously. He knows that playing next to Steph Curry, this league will leave him, a 40% three-point shooter, open all day. And the one time they don't, this is what happened.
Steph for the lead. There it is. Had to go.
He's been great defensively for the Warriors, reading passing lanes to get steals and converting on the other end. Now that's a 4-point swing for the Warriors. Another play we see him in the corner for 3, but he doesn't take it. He draws the defender, puts the ball down, drives, and at 6'9" he's a threat for an easy 2 on a dunk. But he doesn't do it as the backup defender comes at him. He whips a pass around to Andre Iguodala on the weak side, who converts the basket. How quickly this team developed this type of chemistry is simply amazing. Now, Porter can give the Warriors a lot of bang for their buck. Considering a player like this was signed for a veteran's minimum, you might be wondering what the true cost is of having him on the team. There has to be a downside. Well, the truth is, he hasn't really been healthy the last couple of years, and that is really the biggest challenge for the Warriors. If Porter Jr. can stay healthy, this would have been the single most devastating offseason move that the Warriors pulled off when they acquired him. To top it all off, the Warriors then added Bjelica to the roster. Bjelica couldn't wait to play with Stephen Curry, and when his agent told him how the Warriors were interested, it took him
1 second. I just say yes. I didn't think.
According to Bjelica, a 7-year veteran, the Warriors have been one of the top teams over the last decade, and he couldn't miss the opportunity to play alongside the trio of Steph, Clay, and Dre after playing against them for so long as a member of the Kings.
I did some workouts with Steph in Vegas. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. It's like a video game, you know, for him. He's such a good player that whatever he do, everything looks easy, but the things what he's doing on the court, it's really tough.
Fellas, it is a wrap when other top shooters in the league compare your level of shooting to video game levels of insanity. There are levels to this. Bjelica fits the mold of a stretch 4, which is the same as Porter Jr., but that's where the similarities end. While Porter Jr. is more physical and a very good defender, Bjelica has court vision that rivals some of the better passers in the league. My thoughts are that Kerr will maximize his abilities, as Bjelica mentioned in his interview when he spoke with Kerr about the role he'll be playing with the Warriors. My understanding is that the type of support you will get from these players for Steph is exactly the type of support you need to make a run in the playoffs. Take, for example, this particular play where Bjelica realizes that he's being guarded by literally the smallest guy on the floor, Facundo Campazzo. Without the ball, he forces Campazzo down into the post while Bol is being distracted by Porter Jr. and Chiozza. Once Bjelica gets in, Chiozza reads the play and sees the mismatch. He spins to drive by his defender and gets the ball to Bjelica, who basically went up unchallenged. Easy bucket. While these upgrades look great and these guys have the highest amounts of praise for Steph, it isn't like the team was just bad the last couple of years. The main issue is that it has just been difficult for the team to stay healthy. Injuries have been happening so often now, it's just become a natural and normal part of the game. With the current depth of the Warriors compared to last year, this team has a solid group of guys that can compete at the highest level regardless of injuries to anyone not named Steph Curry. But still, anything can change. Remember what Bazemore said during last season? You might not have, but here's a clip.
It would be scary. 49 points in 29 minutes, though, that's unreal. And we got guys hurting hamstrings trying to keep up, so.
It may have just been a casual statement, but this man had a lot of good things to say about Steph Curry while he was on the team with the Warriors. I suppose my point is that you'll never hear players say less about Steph because that's what he does. He carries that franchise on his back. Meanwhile, you flip a coin and these same players will turn the other way and say they're going to go play with a different team because that other team is in contention for a title. I guess this is what the new norm is, chasing titles. Unfortunately, this statement really doesn't hold much water. A ring is now more important than the financial security he claimed he was looking for back near the end of last season. Not to mention, this is the Warriors we're talking about. Golden State has no problem attracting free agents. The problem with the Golden State is that we're too good at developing our own talent. So much so that our homegrown players are usually the ones sought after by other teams. I guess that's what happens when you play alongside one of the greatest players to ever play the game. All your teammates begin to look like all-stars. Let me know your thoughts on the Warriors' chances this year in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications for the latest Dub Nation videos. Till next time.
Slayer, I don't give a prayer, man. Naysayer, I block so hard, sweetie get served. Call me Lonzo Ball, bitches get swerved.
Usually I don't get down with these girls, but tonight it's on my mind.